Well, we're going to go ahead and get started, everyone. It is 7 p.m. And just to let you know a little bit what's going to happen this evening, let me introduce myself first. So I'm Kimmi. I am from Notary Life with Kimmi on YouTube. And I am also part of the Notary Educators, which consists of Angela from AJ Mobile Notary, as well as Alexis from Mobile Notary Services by Alexis. And we are all working notaries here in the state of Georgia. So briefly, how this came about is most of us spend a lot of time in the chat. And I kept seeing different things about being a notary in the state of Georgia. And I was like, that's not true. Or maybe I hadn't thought about it like this. So we decided to just open it up, whatever questions you have about being a notary in the state of Georgia. If you are working for signing companies or not, we all do actually. And we just wanted to shed some light on what it's like to be a notary in the state of Georgia, if you have any questions. So just a little bit about myself. I've been a notary. This is my third commission. I've been in Georgia for 25 years, originally from Michigan. And I love being a notary. I am a signing agent. I'll use that term loosely. I work for signing companies. I also work direct with companies. And I do a lot of general notary also. And I love both parts of the notary field. So now we are doing some training, and that's been going well too. We train for all 50 states. However, tonight we're focusing on our notaries here in Georgia. So I'll let Angela say a little bit about herself. You guys feel free to whatever questions you have. If you want to put them in the chat, raise your hand, whatever you like to do to participate, we are here to serve this evening. So we'll let Angela go ahead and introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Angela, and I have been a notary over 30 years. 10 in California and the last 20 years here in Georgia. I worked for attorneys for about 30 years and in the mortgage industry and general litigation work. And I've been knowing Kim for about 15 years. And I love general notary. General notary is my baby. I am a loan signing agent, leave it loosely. I do loan signings and I do like it, but I love general notary work. And that's me.
All right, thank you, Angela. We'll move over to Alexis. Let's see who you are.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alexis. Just like Kimmi, I'm originally from Michigan, moved to Georgia. I've been here almost 11, well, it has been 11 years. I've been here 11 years now. I'm on the west side of town. I enjoy general notary. I am a signing agent. I do signings for companies. That's my favorite part. I actually am the opposite. I like to do more signings than general notary, but I will do general notary. I love both. And yeah, I'm so excited to have you all here.
Oh, well, thank you for that. You guys don't have to introduce yourselves. If anyone wanted to, you can. If not, we'll just jump right into our informational session here. Are there any burning questions you all have? If not, I do have a few frequently asked questions I was going to go over with. As far as being a notary in the state of Georgia, did anyone have a burning question?
I did. This is Claudia.
Sure, let's go.
So there's been a lot of confusion as far as being a signing agent in Georgia. I've kind of joined a lot of Facebook groups, but most of them haven't really provided any information solely on Georgia and what is to be accepted for a signing agent in Georgia. So my question is, as a signing agent in Georgia, when you work with signing companies and they request for you to be at a signing, are you supposed to be with an attorney?
So that is a very good question. And that was the number one question that I always see in a Facebook group. Can we even serve or work for signing companies in the state of Georgia? So the Georgia handbook, I always refer back to that.
Right.
Always have your handbook. The Georgia handbook says that any real estate transaction done in the state of Georgia has to have an attorney present. So does that mean you cannot work with a signing company? No, it does not, because what the process is, if an attorney has to be present or has to do anything with the signing company also assigns the attorney. So you don't have to go out and find an attorney to go and do the closing. They will assign it. And since we've been under COVID, what that looks like is I am signed up with different signing companies. They will assign me like a refinance package is the most common that requires an attorney. And the signing company will assign an attorney also and myself as the notary. And there are certain documents that the attorney must go over. By law, they have to go over. So after they go over their few documents, it's about 5 of them. Then the rest of the whole notarization is done by me as a notary. It's usually about 140 pages. So out of 140, the attorney is only going to handle about 5 of it that they're legally bound to explain. And then the rest of it is done by myself. Not to mention, I want to add one other piece to that, and I hope this isn't confusing, but you have to keep in mind that not every assignment that comes from the signing companies is a refinance. Sometimes it might be as simple as what's called initial disclosures. And that just means someone is applying maybe for like a VA loan and they need the notary to print the application. You take it to the client and just help them to sign the application. That's it. So there's no need for an attorney there. There are many assignments that come from loan signing companies that are not. That's why we all keep saying signing agent loosely, because and just let me stop there. Is that clear?
Yes, it is. Thank you so much.
So
Yes, I have a question though. So you said that you would help them sign, you would help those sign those papers.
when I say help, I mean facilitate the signing. Let me rephrase that. So you take the document out there and it would go something like this. Okay, Ms. Barber, I am here today to help you with your VA application. And I have the documents for you to sign. That's it. There's no notarizations even involved in that. You're just basically a courier.
All right.
Yeah. And I wanted to add to that also, there are other assignments that come from the signing companies. It might be like completing an I-9 form. It may be just simply delivering the document. Sometimes the attorney doesn't have time to print and they'll hire you just to print and take it to the attorney. So you don't even do anything with that, but literally like a courier. So a lot of times when I'm in the Facebook groups, I see all these things we cannot do, but I don't ever think it's talked about what we can do. So you can work for a signing company. And this is what I wanted to clarify too. A signing agent, notary signing agent, executive signing agent, loan signing agent, all those different terms you hear, is just a notary. Once you just take off that one piece of it, they're all notaries. They're just a notary like yourself and me. That's the difference. The difference is you have a certain certification from the NNA, like a background check, and you're able to handle more stuff, but that's it. Everyone is still just a notary. We're equal notaries. If that makes sense. Any other questions about that? Because I know we could talk about that one for a while. I just want to make sure you kind of got the overall sense though. So in attorney state, we do live in an attorney state, and if it's a refinance package, like I have never completed a purchaser package, never, because that's always done by an attorney. The refinance is something, again, that they would hire me to do, and in conjunction with the attorney. So we are there together. Yeah. Is everyone on the call doing signing agent or
Yes.
working for signing companies already?
Well, I'm not yet. That is my goal.
Yeah.
I'm just brand new. I just barely got my stamp. I have not even went on one assignment other than being a witness at this point.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's another assignment that will come from signing companies. So the main takeaway that I wanted with the attorney state thing and being a signing agent is it's just a title. Again, like Ms. Georgia mentioned, sometimes I'm hired through a signing company just to be a witness. So that means the attorney is there, they're controlling the whole signing, and they just need another set of eyes on the document, and they pay you for that. So the signing companies, there's many assignments that come through there. It's not all just dealing with something that has to have an attorney present.
I had an additional question.
Sure.
So because we're an attorney state, what rate should we expect from the signing company, since they're also having to have an attorney there as well?
Ding, ding, ding. Now that is where that's the question right there. So when we watch YouTube channels and people say that they're making $200 or $300 per signing, they probably are making that because they do not have the attorney. So that's a very good question. So on the norm for a refinance package, they'll still pay me like 85 to 100 just to take it and just to be there to be the notary on the rest of the packet. So yes, that's how that works. So normally it's about 85 to 100. So there is still very good money to be made just in the other forms. Like even for just an application, sometimes that can be about $75, $65. So it depends on how large the package is. So, you know, it's a few variables that go into the dollar amount, but normally it ranges about 75 to 100.
And
does that mean-
Miss Georgia, and then we'll come back to you, Miss Clavia.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I was having problems with my computer, so I came in late. So how is it that we get to the signing companies? How do we sign up with them?
Yeah, so your first process, you have to be a notary. And, I'm sorry. I want to make sure I did an introduction because we just started. We went right into it. Sorry about that, guys. Yes, so in order to become a signing agent or to work with the signing companies, your first step would be to go to the National Notary Association. So they have 3 packages you can choose from. I always recommend you take the middle package because it's going to get you a basic notarization class as well as your background check. And signing companies will not work with you without having that background check. So that package runs about $190. And then normally, even though you've taken that, you still might need a little bit more training. And if so, you just let us know, we can assist you. But I always recommend you get your commission from the state of Georgia. Your next step would be to the National Notary Association, the middle package. And then you're on your way. And they'll have their own signing company that you start with. And then there are like over 1,000 different companies to work for. So on average, I work with about maybe a steady 5 or 6. Normally, you're encouraged to sign in with 100 if you're not getting the amount of work that you'd like. Alexis, did you want to shed some light on how many signing companies you work for?
I work for about 6, I would say. Steady about 3. Steady work. I get steady work from about 3, but I'm with 6. But like she said, I would encourage everyone to sign up for as many as possible. So just one might not be hitting 1 month, one might be. So definitely sign up for as many as possible. You just never know what can come your way. 100, it's a good top. I would say maybe 10. Just get a good top 10 for you. Just do your research, go on Google. You'll find out a lot of information. But yeah, I'm with about 6.
Yeah, so you're signing with quite a few, but you'll end up weeding out the ones that you don't like to work with. It could be because their packages are super large. Like I have a couple companies from California, and when they send out a package, it's like 225 pages. So when it says California, I'm automatically like, what? So you'll find out who you would like to work with too, so you can eliminate and weed them out. But those are your next steps, if that helps, Miss Georgia. If it's not clear, let me know.
Kimmi, I have a question.
Yes, can we get Miss Ingrid first? Her hand was up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you guys could raise your hand and just get you in order.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get Miss Ingrid. We'll come right back to you, Miss Susan.
Okay, no, that's fine. I'm sorry. I should have done that. It's just something that you had said. Yes.
Oh, no, it's okay. Let's finish.
And you can write it in the chat so you don't forget. I'm monitoring the chat. So write it in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and I'll be right back with you. Let's get Miss Ingrid right quick.
Hey, Kimmi, okay, my question is, as far as like you said, the refinance can be anywhere from 85 to 100.
Yes.
And that is with the signing service, right?
That is correct.
Okay, so if I were to be going, like working straight with the title company, how much, like what price difference would that be?
Usually about 125, 150. It depends on, again, how many pages. I mean, they kind of got an idea too. So about 125, 150 without the middleman. And I'm glad you mentioned going direct. So in direct, I'm gonna be right with you, Miss Susan. So when you talk about direct,
Okay. I'm typing. That's okay. I'm good. Thank you.
in the state of Georgia, guys, just so you can be crystal clear, and it's not as easy to go direct as we may hear on YouTube videos for people that are in non-attorney states. Because don't forget, 90% of what happens here has to be done with an attorney. So we're not going to make the same money. It's not going to be as easy for us to go direct. Do I get direct work? I do. I actually did a seller's package today. That came, the title company called me direct. So that's what they mean, direct, no signing service. So it's just me and the title company. Now that doesn't happen every day though. Most of my work comes from a signing company. Because,
Okay.
you know, it's an attorney state. So most of it comes from a signing company, which I still do very well with that, because just imagine if you did 5 per day at almost $100, that's $500 a day. So you see, you can still make it, but we're not going to make it as fast, honestly, as our counterparts in California and Texas.
Okay. Another question I did have, as far as the insurance, is there a difference as far as what kind of insurance to get if you're going direct versus going through the signing company?
I've been able to do okay with 25,000. And I work direct and with signing companies. I do both. I think the thing with the larger dollar amount is if you're going strictly direct and maybe some of these other states. But if you feel you need more to protect yourself, you always want to do that. When you work with a signing company, don't forget they have coverage. I have coverage for myself, but the signing company is not going to let me go out there and just willy-nilly do loan signings. They're going to protect themselves. So they have insurance, but I also carry it.
Okay.
I have a $25,000 policy. I've done okay with that. For myself, if you think you need more, I highly recommend it.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Miss Susan, let's come back to you, and then we'll get Miss Clavita if no one else has something.
Kimmi, that's fine. I already put it into the chat. So.
Oh, let's read it right quick. So just wondering if when you're doing loan signings, do you feel that there's a certain time that you consider too late to go out? Now, usually my husband will go with me. Even with him, about 7 o'clock. I've done one as late as 8. If you're going out by yourself, you just want to make sure let someone know where you're going. Never just go to an assignment. Even during the day, Angela and I work a lot together. Even during the daytime, if she's somewhere, she'll shoot me a text and say, hey, I'm going over to ABC Drive in Stone Mountain. So always let someone know where you are, be general notary or loan signing. Did you have a tip on that, Angela?
Yes, and it's interesting because for me personally, I don't have anybody to go with me like Kimmi. So when I go anywhere, like she mentioned, no matter what time of the day it is, when I drive up to the house, I'll send her a text and she knows if I send her an address, that's where I am. And as soon as I leave and get back in the car, I'll just say leaving. And so it's just a safety mechanism for me. It makes me feel safe. I've never had a problem with any person that I've done, but that's just something that we put in place for ourselves, for notary signing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to have
And
to do
usually,
that. Yes.
Oh, hold on 1 second. What to add to it, Alexis?
yeah, usually when with signing companies, that Kimmi said she had one late, but usually they don't make them that late. Usually, and then some of them, you can choose what time. So, yeah, personally, if it was really late, like they were saying, you can just text somebody, or when you get the signing, it'll tell you what time it is. And I would say if you feel comfortable, go ahead with it. If not, depending on like maybe you can look up the address or depending on the time, like if it's daylight savings or whatever, if it's dark out, I would say just go with your gut, whatever you feel comfortable with as far as that.
And then also with your general notary work, if you feel uncomfortable, period, you can always say, hey, can we meet at Panera? Can we meet? They're a very notary friendly location. I love Panera because they ask no questions. You just go in there, you don't have to buy anything. So look for Panera. McDonald's is very notary friendly. If you just need somewhere to meet. So I have what I call a virtual office. If you don't feel comfortable. And then as far as loan signings, I'm screening, making sure, asking questions. And if you get that gut feeling you don't want to be there, you don't have to. You can always return an assignment. If you get there, you feel unsafe, you just let them know. Yeah.
And Kim mentioned virtual office. You can have a virtual office that's in a mutual convenient place. Like my virtual office is the farmer's market on the corner because everybody knows where it is. It has a big parking lot in the back. And so if somebody called me for a notary, I just tell them to meet me at my virtual office. I know the address for the farmer's market. I tell them it's at the farmer's market, tell them where to park, and send them the address, and it's never been a problem.
Then where do you actually do the notarizing? Do you have a table that you bring with you or something?
I have a little table in the back of my truck.
Okay. All right, good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I told Angela about this little table because in my SUV, I have like a hard surface, so I can just flip it and work right there 99% of the time. But my husband doesn't. He doesn't have that. So we bought this little table from Amazon.
Yeah.
Maybe Angela can find it and throw it in the link.
I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, find it from that list for me, Angela, with the student list, and it's on there. And then let's come back to Maddie. She hasn't had a chance to ask her question yet, please. Was that it, Miss Susan?
Well,
Yes, it is. Thank you so much.
And
I
Georgia.
appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Maddie. Okay, Maddie, I'm sorry, Miss Maddie.
Sorry. My baby's in the background. Hopefully he doesn't make too much noise. So I did my first signing today. Well, not a signing, but an acknowledgement. So general notary work. And I was a little bit worried because it was my first time. So of course, like I'm shaking it, right? This is my first time. So when it came to stamping, I learned a big lesson today. Make sure that I have a hard surface. So I ended up having to stamp that one paper 3 times to make my stamp clear. Was that bad? Like,
well, it doesn't look pretty. I mean, you know, that's real talk, but we all have done it. I've actually done it upside down before. So I highly recommend clipboards for your bag. You always want to, I carry 2. I have 2 clipboards at all times. I have one for me and one for them, or just in case you just never know where you're going to be at, especially with general notary work. So always have 2 clipboards in your bag because you want that stamp to be crystal clear. Because you don't want the paper to look ugly. I made a mistake on a man's wheel and I did it upside down. And I said, do you want me to redo it? And he said, no, it wasn't necessary, but make sure you're on a flat surface. Because even like on a mat, sometimes like you're sitting at a table and it's not super flat and it goes up and your stamp will be off. So you're fine. Whenever you make a mistake like that, you want to draw a line through it.
I was supposed to draw a line?
Well, if you did not, it's okay.
The notary handbook says that if you make a mistake like that and you can't see, the notary stamp is not clear, if it's faded, you should just re-stamp it next to the stamp, but it has to be clear where you can read all of the notary information on the notary stamp.
Okay, so then I also made 2 more mistakes. So my second one was because it was 3 different acknowledgements, right? So my second one was when I was writing my expiration date for my commission, it's supposed to be a 2025. But I did 2021 and then tried to change that 1 into a 5. God.
That's fine. Just always initial anything you make.
Okay, I did initial it. Yeah. I did do that.
Always initial, and then you want to make it as clean as you can. Any error. So don't just scratch a big circle. Just, you know, real gently, just as fine as you can, you know. So that's fine. Everyone has done that. Believe me, every notary has done that.
And then my last mistake was I tried my best not to touch anything with my stamp, but get as close as possible to my signature or to the signing area. Well, my stamp like lightly touched like a letter at the bottom of the page, like 1 letter out of a word.
Yeah, so that's going to happen sometimes. You really want to make sure you don't cover any verbiage on the document. You don't want to do that. However, sometimes they only give you like a little bit of space. So you just have to do the best you can. But if you can avoid it, you do not want to stamp over anything. Never. Okay, but sometimes they don't give you enough space. So that's not on you. That's on whoever wrote the document.
Okay, so that was my very first time doing any notary work. So I just wanted to put that out there to make sure that I fix those mistakes before my next time. Thanks.
I think you did very well. No worries, because again, we all have made many mistakes. Believe me.
Thank you.
Georgia had her hand up next.
Yes, come on, Georgia. How?
Oh, I'm still on the insurance part.
Oh, yes,
So
ma'am.
what is the type of insurance we need, and what kind of insurance companies do we go to get the insurance from?
Yes, ma'am. The type of insurance is called errors and omission insurance. And what that does is it covers you in case you make a mistake as a notary. And it does cover you when you're acting in what we'll call, just for the sake of conversation, loan signing. It does cover you when you make a mistake or an error or you forget to do something. But it does not cover if you accidentally miss a deadline. Like with the signing companies, a lot of times you have a deadline to get those packages back by like 5 o'clock. If you miss that, it doesn't cover it. If you accidentally run over someone's mailbox or run over their little kitty, it does not cover it. So if the documents get wet, lost, or stolen, it's not covered. So the errors and omission insurance is normally all you need. I mean, the chances of those things happening are so slim. But again, if you think you need more, then you purchase that. I have my $25,000 policy with the National Notary Association. And I tend to get all of my items from there, just because they're the gold standard in the industry. There's another company called Buyberk that is very popular with the notaries. But again, you just want to check to see what all they cover. It's BIEBERK, I believe. Buyberk. But I get, like I said, I do everything with the National Notary Association.
And I put the National Notary Association link in the chat if you need it.
Thank you. Did you want to add anything about insurance, Alexis or Angela?
No.
Angela,
But you said you did mention that, like, if say I messed up their document, like their documents got wet or something like that. Okay, so insurance doesn't cover that. Then how do I cover that? How do
the Buyberk policy is like a general liability policy. I mean, what the chances of that happening are so nil to zero. And if it did happen, quite honestly, you're just gonna print another set of documents. You know what I mean? So that's why actually today and last week I had 2 signers that had 2 large cups of coffee. I was looking for a coffee cup. I mean, the biggest you could think of. And I said, do you mind if we put that to the side until we finish our signing? Because I just knew that coffee was gonna end up wetting up my documents, and I don't want that delay. So sometimes you have to take control of the room. That's what I always say. When you're at a signing, if you're doing general notary work or if you're doing loan signing work, you take control of the room. Did you want to add to that, Alexis? Because I heard the amen corner over there.
No, I was just agreeing with you. Like, make sure the table is completely clear. Sometimes I know this is going to sound a little crazy, but since the papers are white, before I like place something on the table wherever I'm at, if I'm at the person's house, more than likely, I'll kind of just tap the table. It could be sticky residue you can't see. It can be dust or whatever. It can be whatever. I just tap the table. That's just me because the documents are white. And when I send this back to whomever, I don't want them with documents with residue all over it. So that's just me personally, what I do. But yeah, make sure the table's clear and you'll be fine. I don't, like she said, I don't see that really happening.
Yeah, Angela.
Sorry, can you repeat that? I apologize. Can you repeat that?
Oh, I was just saying, make sure that the table is clear. So when you're going to a signing or even doing general notary work, so you don't mess up your documents, make sure there's no liquids around, food, anything that could get on that document. And I was just saying that when I go to houses to do signings, or if I'm doing general notary and let's say I'm on the back of their car sometimes, I'll just tap the car or the table lightly to see if there's any sticky residues or anything that can get on those documents that would, like she said, delay the process or mess you up in the general notary work as well. Because usually people don't have a copy of whatever document they're getting notarized. So I was just saying, be extra careful. Make sure there's no residue or anything that can get on those papers because they are white.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
And just don't, and when you go to loan signings,
I know.
I'm sorry.
Can you mute?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Athena.
I think it's Athena.
Thank you.
When you go to
Okay.
general notary or loan signing, do not be afraid. Kim mentioned taking control of the situation. Don't be afraid to tell them what you need from them in order to get the loan signing done, like removing any water so the papers won't get wet, or removing anything from the table. So just don't be afraid to go in and tell them what you need them to know in order to affect the loan signing or general notary work.
Yeah, even when they offer me water, I take nothing until that signing is complete. They say, "Oh, can I get you some water?" Nope. Not until I finish my paper. So let's see. Any other questions anyone have? Another tip. And then Miss Susan had a comment in the chat about doing Ron. Georgia is not Ron approved. So you cannot do Ron in the state of Georgia. Yep.
We can
FYI.
yeah.
But keep watching, because they took it through the General Assembly in 2021, so they're gonna take it again in 2022, but it has not been approved.
So don't go around buying Ron training right now, guys, because we are not Ron approved, okay? Let's go to Miss Georgia, and we'll come back to Miss Maddie.
Yes, like I said, I haven't yet gone to the NNA to see about getting their training to get my background check and all of that. But how long does something like that take? Is it a 2-hour course? Is it a 2-week course?
Well, I was so excited. I did it in 6 hours. It honestly could take about maybe, I would say 8 to 10 hours probably, but I was just kind of like all into it. So I kind of
and it depends on the person and how comfortable you are with notary, because anyway, it depends on the person. It took me about, but take it that I have been a notary for a long time before I did this, but it took me about 3 hours, but I was just nonstop.
Yeah.
So okay, so it's a self-paced course.
That's what I was going to say. It's self-paced, and I believe it's good for 9 months after you purchase it.
Okay, and what are we talking about as far as a purchase amount?
It's $197 for the middle package.
Okay.
They have 3 packages. Just the background check only is, I believe, $90 or $80 something. And then the middle package is $150 something. Jeff, can you mute Jeff for me?
On the seat of our democracy.
Jeff,
can you mute him?
I made him the host.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Yes, Miss Georgia. So, 3 different packages, and I highly recommend the middle package.
Okay.
Can I say something? I'm sorry. Just to go back to the beginning, kind of, since we're talking about loan signing, does everybody have a copy of this book, the Georgia Notary Handbook? Does everyone have a copy of this?
I do not. I thought I was going to go pick one up, but then they told me, no, you can't pick it up. You have to order it online.
Yes, ma'am.
And I forgot to do it.
Yeah. Make sure you get a copy of this. Familiarize it front and back. That way, when you do take the loan signing course, when you're ready, it won't be completely, confusing in a sense. You'll kind of know exactly what's going on. You'll know what to do. This will be your best friend. Ingrid, I can look it up right now and I'll put it in the chat where you can get it from. It's $10 online. And read it front to back. It's specifically for Georgia. All the information you need to know about being a notary will be in here.
Don't forget the extra syrup. I ordered that book about 2 weeks ago and I still haven't gotten it.
Well, Carrie, it took them a while. I think because it's COVID, it takes longer than it usually does.
Okay, thanks.
It's coming though. I know, I don't remember how long it took for mine to come, but because of COVID.
Yeah, I was so sad when I went all the way up there, went through the screening check and then go up there and had my little $10. And they says, oh no, it's not here. You have to order it online. I'm going like, what?
Yeah, you got to order it online. And then also, eventually when you sign up with the NNA and go through that, check out, Angela, can you show them what the primer looks like? The primer, you buy this at the NNA also. And it just breaks down the laws from the Georgia handbook in the simplest terms. If you think you need that, it's something else that could just simplify the verbiage for you. Miss Maddie, did you have another thought?
Yes, so going back to the SnapDocs question. So you said to put our general notary work in the SnapDocs section. My
Yeah.
question is, looking at that section, it's asking you for like a company name, a phone number, a this or that.
Yeah.
And if I'm doing it for a person and not really a company, I don't really know how to fill that out or what that's supposed to look like.
You want to explain it, Alexis?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, so with SnapDocs, you can enter as little or as much information as you want. So if it says company name, maybe you can put in the person's name. I think it has a notes field. Are you looking at it right now?
Yes. I'm gonna
Does
look
it have
at
like
it.
a
Well,
notes
give me one
field?
second.
I
I'm
don't have it
logged
front
in.
of me.
I just need to flip to it.
Okay. Well, maybe you can put in as little or as much information as you want. So you can kind of structure those where you're putting general notary. You can structure it how you see fit. So where it says company name, maybe put the person's name or whoever you notarized that day, if it was 2 people. If it has a notes field, you can put comments about it, like general notary, or just something that a system for you personally, because you just want it to count as something you did towards your number. Does that make sense?
Yes. And then you guys said something super important about the zip codes. So I've never put a zip code in my profile area, but I literally just read it and it says add zip codes. So my question is with that, how do I add it? Like, do I just list zip codes with like commas in between?
Yes, exactly. And then put as many and as far as you're willing to travel. Don't put anything that you really don't want to travel to. And then one more tip on that SnapDocs, you do not have to put anything in the company field. The only thing mandatory, I believe, is the last name and something else. Only 2 things are mandatory, but whatever you put in there is going to count to your total of signings that you've done. So it looks
okay.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions? If not, I'll ask you all a question. What do you guys think about that $2 minimum in the state of Georgia that you can charge for notary work? Anybody familiar?
I'm lost on that.
You know, I understand that that's all you can charge, but then you can charge your traveling fee, your process, your other fees, but the notary fee itself cannot exceed that $2. So it's, to me, it's just what do you call it? A technicality. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it was $5. I don't like that $2, but I thought it was 5, but it's 2.
Yeah, so make sure you get your handbook so that way you can always be aware of what you're doing. So in Georgia, the fee is $2 per signature. However, as Ms. Georgia mentioned, and I'll read it right from the handbook, which is my favorite go-to. I always have my handbook. And I'm just going to read it directly from here. She mentioned, just so you can have your handbook also, okay? So it says Georgia, I have to take this off, y'all. Discuss notary fees. So remember that Georgia law requires you to inform a person receiving a notarial act of any fee you plan to charge before you perform the act. You may charge up to the following maximum fees: $2 for an acknowledgement, $2 for administering an oath or affirmation, $2 for any other certificate. And it also says a Georgia notary may also charge a fee for travel as long as the signer is informed in advance that a travel fee will be charged and billed separately from any notary service. So what does that look like? I call Mr. Mike, we got a guy on here. Mr. Mike, we have 2 actually, we got Jeff in the house too. But Mr. Mike calls me, he says, Kim, I need you to come and do a notary for me over in, I don't know, Atlanta. And I let him know, okay, so my travel fee is ... plus $2 per every time I have to stamp. Now, I personally do not charge a $2 per page, I just charge a travel fee. So you have to see what works best for you. Sometimes I might take a loss on that. Most of the times I don't, but you have to see what's best for you in your area, okay? So you can charge a travel fee according to our handbook, but you got to make sure the person is in agreement. So I cannot pull up to his house and tell him it's $85 and he's thinking it's only $2. And on the receipt, it must be written out separately also. Angela, you want to add to that?
Just as far as fees, I mean, you said it. That's basically the same thing I do. I don't charge a $2 fee. I just tell them there's no notary fee, but I charge them for travel or convenience. And when you do that too, is you're not nickel and diming them. You make them feel like that you're giving them something too. So it's like a even swap for me. You're giving the client something or the signer something, and then they're getting the services. So it really makes them feel like you are giving them something in exchange for even having the service.
And Miss Susan had a comment in the question, how far is the average distance that you feel is a good amount to travel for a signing? That's going to be completely up to you. For myself now, for my general and everything, I try to stay within less than 30 miles. I have driven as far as 2 hours each way. They've made that worth my while to do that. But on the norm, I don't anymore. And as you start doing more signings, you can be a little bit more picky. But initially I took whatever. I took the $30 jobs. I took $20 witness, $25 witness jobs, or I did everything just to get my name built up. Any thoughts on that, Alexis?
Oh, I completely agree. Starting out, I would say expand, go as far as you can. Of course, don't inconvenience yourself, but get the experience.
Right.
So that's that. Just get the experience. Of course, once you have the experience, then you can choose to accept or decline. But I would say first get the experience. So whatever comes your way, as long as it's not like I don't know, 2 hours. Like Kimmi said she did. To some that might be, crazy, but hey, if they're gonna make it worth my while and I get to get the experience, why not?
Yeah, and you hear a lot of people on YouTube and everywhere, and it's true. You want to make your mistakes with the signing companies because they're a lot more lenient in a sense. Of course, you don't want to make errors, period. But if you're gonna make some, you want to do it with them, because once you start going direct and people call you direct and you start making errors, then they're gonna be like, okay, they will immediately get rid of you when you're going direct. I mean, because they have so many choices. So you want to be the go-to notary. You hear me use that expression. In order to do that, you really need to be a good notary. And that means knowing how to do acknowledgements, knowing how to do Jurats, administer an oath. If you're a good notary, there's no document anyone can present to you that you can't do. Now, you may have a question about it. Like I had a signing today, actually, I had to call him about, it was like 3 different things that just wasn't clear, but you rather call them than just willy-nilly do it, and it's wrong. A lot of stuff is wrong. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. Maddie, you have something else?
Yes. So when it comes to the $2 fee, like I heard you guys say that you tell them that you're charging a travel fee. So like today I didn't differentiate. I just gave a fee. I didn't differentiate between included in this is a travel fee. Am I supposed to do that?
Well, you should disclose it. Is it gonna just like it's just like breaking the law? The notary police are gonna come and get you? No, but you just say casually, "Hey, my travel fee is such and such," and they know that you're not gonna come out there for $2. Now, people will expect that sometimes, but the reality is none of us are leaving our home for $2. So they know it's a cost associated with that convenience or travel fee. So yeah, try to disclose it, but I mean, they're not gonna knock on you.
All right, I'll do that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Any other questions anyone had? I want to make sure you get all your questions answered.
Yeah, my question is, what do you think is okay, so say for travel time, say it's gonna take me 25 minutes in light traffic to get there. So would you say,
Oh, you froze up on us.
That it takes you to go, or how do you base?
You froze up on us. I heard the 25 minutes.
Okay, so I'm sorry. Suppose it takes 25 minutes to get there. So do you go, it's going to take me 25 minutes to get there, so I'm going to charge you know, I don't know, $2 a minute, $1 a minute, or what? How do you base that?
You have to come up with your fee, but I do factor that in. I'm like a half hour there, half hour back. So for me, I try to see how much I want to make per hour. What my time is worth. So you'll have to figure out what that number looks like for you. It might be different if you're going right around the corner to do a school note versus you have to drive, a half hour, like you were mentioning, for something else, depending on where I'm going. If I'm going to a hospital, you got to navigate the parking lot. You got to pay for parking normally at the hospital. So it's so many different factors to consider when it comes to pricing. But once you start doing it and become familiar with more documents, you'll see what to charge. Yeah, it'll be a little clearer for you. Initially, you might take some losses because I still do.
Yeah, I was gonna say ask questions because I've come across some crazy things. They say one thing on the phone and then in person it's completely different. Yeah. And you thinking of your time, and money wise. So make sure you just ask key questions that'll help you determine, what the price should be.
And remember,
what is my time worth?
Yeah, and remember my little phrase: questions equal money. Questions equal money. The more questions you ask, the more money. Because like Alexa said, they'll say it's 1 page, you get there, it's 5. They say it's
They'll say they're the only signer and it's 3 signers.
Right.
Questions equal money. Miss Ingrid, what was your thought?
Okay, so my question is, I'm wanting to print business cards and do my website and everything. In the class last weekend, something was said to the effect like, I can't promote myself as a loan signing agent. Was that correct, or am I confused?
I would not put that on my card. I would not, but you can put, because you're still a notary, it's all a notary, remember? So right. You don't have to put those words on there. You don't have to put those words on there.
Okay, so on the website, I would just put things that I can offer are, and then I would just list that on there.
Yes, just different types of documents, power of attorneys, because don't forget, most mortgage documents or loan documents or whatever is usually a power of attorney in there. So you can just list power of attorneys. You could list that you do wills, that you do school notes, DMV forms. Actually, Angela had a nice little thing here. You want to talk about that out loud, Angela? What about your general notary? What some documents you come across? And you could add all of these documents to your page.
Yeah. So someone just asked me in the chat. I do school notes a lot, loan modifications, and that's straight from the homeowner. Power attorneys, I do a lot of those. A lot of deeds, wills, I-9s. Recently, for whatever reason, seller packages, which are directly from the homeowner, and it's just a variety. And lately, for whatever reason, I've been getting quite a few vehicle transfer documents. I've had people come to do notarized bill of sale to transfer titles. So it's just a large variety of, I'm sure I'm missing some, but a large variety of different things that I get calls for. And then the other thing too is, for whatever reason lately, I got one today, people have been calling asking questions about, their documents, and not legal questions like if they want, somebody lives in this state and I live in this state and I need this document notarized, how do I get it notarized? So people will call you to ask you questions about how to get documents notarized when people are in different places and things like that.
And one more thing, guys, don't forget, when under the notary umbrella, it's so many things that we can do as a notary because we're trusted. For example, apostilles, I-9, fingerprinting. I do all of those things. So if you want to be a well-rounded notary and have a really sustainable business, you won't focus on just one thing. So I do loan signing, I do general notary, I do fingerprint, apostille. I mean, I do it all. And that's what you want to be. You want to go to do it all notary in your area. Let's get Miss Edie. Is it Edie?
Okay. Yes, you said it right. It's Edie. So my question is, hi, I'm sorry. I'm over here taking notes and just multitasking and all excited. I heard you say the term school note. Is a school note the same thing as a residency affidavit? Is that
exactly what it is?
Okay. Keep in mind, I'm still I guess I'm still new And so I was like, what's a school note? So I just wanted to make sure that was the same thing. I just had never heard it referred to that before.
We just call it a school note, but that's exactly what it is. Yeah, and you always want to make sure you have both signers there. They can come separately, but they usually come together.
Yeah.
They usually come together. And don't forget all these different things you could add under your notary services. I just must reiterate that. It's so much money out there, guys. Miss Diane?
Hi, Kimmi. I just wanted to ask what Ingrid had talked about on the business card and on the website, you know, what title do we use? For LinkedIn, because I do have a lot of connections with professionals, and if we're trying to reach like mortgage professionals and title companies and such, would it be wise to use like certified notary agent as a title, or do we want to still stick with notary agent, public notary public? Because we're trying to reach a different, different type of people.
Right.
So I want to keep that, that particular title a little bit more professional. So what do you think?
Let me ask a question before we answer that. Was anyone else on the call for DeKalb County this past week? They did a training, DeKalb County did. I know you were, Angela. Was anyone else on that call?
Someone said yes.
You were on there, Alexis?
No, someone said yes.
Oh, who said yes?
Edie? Was it Edie?
Yes, I was on the call.
Edie, did you hear what the man said about calling yourself a signing agent? Did you hear what he said?
Yes, I did, because it shocked me. He said that he said we're not allowed to call ourselves loan signing agents. He said you're not allowed to do it, and that it is like a big deal. I had no idea.
But did you hear the rest of what he said though?
He said you can list like that you're a general notary who performs these functions, but that was what I got from it. If there was something else, then I'm sorry, I may have missed it.
Yeah, his quote was actually, you can call yourself whatever you want to call yourself. That was his quote. And I say that to say, don't forget, guys, notary signing agent, loan signing agent, executive signing agent, all of those are just a notary. It's just a notary. So to answer your question, what I'm going to put on there is just list all the documents that you're able to do, Diane.
Yeah, that's what
refinance, not refinance, loan modifications, VA application, just list initial disclosures like we were talking about earlier. Just list those documents and they'll know what it is if you don't want to put those words. Honestly, I think I have it on my website. I really do. I don't even remember, but to be compliant and you sleep at night, don't put it on there, but it's just a title.
Okay.
And also you could put maybe signing services offered. That might be like a keyword that they know, okay, she does X, Y, and Z. If you wanted to stray away from putting it as a title.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, ladies.
Yeah. So did we have the apostille training to do an apostille? Is there no special certification? You will get a phone call and they'll think that you can do the apostille, but there's a process to it. So the notary does not do the apostille. So there's an actual, you would be more like an facilitator or an agent for the apostille. We're working on a training for that actually, but you can self-teach yourself because that's what I did. I'm big on self-teaching. Angela is too. I will mention that we are, the three of us, we formed what's called Notary Educators. So we do offer classes once you've done NNA, if you've done, if you've completed your commission with the state of Georgia, you have additional questions. I'll let Angela tell you about our training program right quick.
So the training program for the general notary, and one thing that I don't think Kim or Alexis mentioned is that with loan signing and any type of notary, if you don't know basic general notary, it's always going to be really hard for you to do loan signings or any other type of notary. And so we offer a Notary Essentials 101, which consists of understanding documents and how to notarize them and how to market your business, how to price your business. And that includes how to properly notarize all types of documents, acknowledgements, jurats, oaths, you get sample documents for the training. We train different states on different state notarizations. We review the completed documents for accuracy and let you do a mock signing and training on those documents. And yeah, so we offer sample screening questions, common mistakes that notaries makes, and do's and don'ts to notarize documents. We also offer Form I-9, which is employment verification documents, how to do Form I-9s, and yeah. And soon we'll be doing a apostille class that Kim and I are working on right now.
And then to answer Miss Susan's question here about starting a website, I highly recommend it. In order to be effective in this business and to get clients, you must have a Google My Business page, fully maximized, and you must have a website. A lot of people will say, oh, that's outdated. You don't need that. Everything I tell you, it may sound old sometimes because I'm old.
It's not
but
old.
It's the truth. You need a business card with your picture on it if you're not afraid. List your services on there, front and back. They shouldn't have to guess what you do. Google My Business page needs to be effective, not just the name only, but maximize it. It's like different services. You can post little posts on there, something like Happy Sunday from None Better Notary, or, you know, just anything so that they know that you're active, you know, so you want to make sure that you do that. What else is on there? Oh yeah, so they actually have you actually can get a free Google website also, so you don't have to go through GoDaddy and all that. You can get a free Google My Business page and the website. That's two different things, and they're both free, and they work very well together. Actually, if you want, you can look at my my stuff. Look at my Google page and see how I have it set up. I'm not sure if you all are familiar with my YouTube channel, but you can feel free to check that out. Again, it's Notary Life with Kimmi. I have sample and mock like will signing, power of attorney signing, divorce signs, all kinds of stuff. So you can feel free to check that out. And again, the classes, I don't know, Angela, you put the link in the description box there?
For the class?
Yes, and I don't know if you guys know, I just wrote a book also called Start Your Notary Business. It's not that complicated. The link is in the description box for that. And that's on Amazon. It takes you step by step to start your notary business. And we're available if you have any questions. Yes, Ms. Maddie.
So I did sign up for the class on Saturday, and in the email said something about receiving I guess things for the class.
Yes.
Yeah.
You'll get the documents for
Say
the
that
class.
again.
You'll get the documents for the class.
Oh, okay.
24 to 48 hours before.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yes, yes. So we do have a last class for the month of October will be this Saturday. So if there's no other questions, we'll go ahead and start wrapping up unless someone wants to say anything. Any other questions? Any other concerns or anything you want to know about being a notary in Georgia?
Kimmi.
Yes.
Hi. Where is the link for the class?
I'm putting it in there right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm putting it in there right now.
Okay, thank you. Secondly, where can we rewatch the recording?
I am going to put this on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, I will put it on YouTube. Hopefully in the next couple of days, you'll be able to. And then you have my email. Angela, you can put my email in there also.
Okay.
If you have like a couple questions, guys, I'll be more than happy to help you. I am an actively working notary myself, so I do the best I can. And Angela and also Alexis are available for basic questions. Yes, Ms. Georgia. Thank you, Ms. Kelly.
Thank you.
Oh, you're on mute, Ms. Georgia.
I'm sorry. I need to start writing my questions down because I'll be forgetting. Okay, so the one thing I wanted to ask about the classes is the books and the this and the I'm sorry.
I know it's a lot, right? Oh, you're on mute again.
My computer is so sensitive. I tell you, if I wave my hand over the spot, it will just take it.
Oh, okay.
No, but when it comes to studying and reading the publications that you suggest, do you guys have like a suggestion list of things you should, you might want to start with these basic YouTube videos or.
Yeah, let me just, so this is what I highly
Notary
recommend
Life
for
with
everyone.
Kimmi. That's all the
Don't,
videos you need. Notary Life with Kimmi.
of course,
Notary Life with Kimmi.
I'll
Okay.
put it in the chat.
well, of course we have to say that, right? But just, this is what I recommend for everyone. Don't just start going out buying courses. Don't just start going out buying a whole bunch of stuff. For real, for real. So what I recommend is, first of all, for real, my book is $5.99. It tells you everything step A through Z, how to be a notary. You don't have to buy research on your own, but I put everything in one location. Aside from that, I'm going to highly recommend you find out on your Georgia what's required. So you are a notary already, Miss Georgia, or you're not?
Yes, ma'am. I'm commissioned.
You're commissioned. So your next steps would be training. Honestly, unless you're going to self-teach yourself, you need a training class. Now, you don't need a training class that's going to take you to make you a career student for the next 20 years. You don't need that. You just need a basic training class. That's what our 3 hour, both of our classes are 3 hours. So within that 3 hours, we go over everything you need to be a good notary and also how to start your business.
Yes.
As far as marketing, pricing, we go over all of that very intimately. So
okay, so that was my question. Should I take in some more information before I do your class, or will your class prime me for the next?
We want you to learn what you need to know the day that you come to us. So if you call us again, it's like something like, oh, I have a question here or there, but everything will be covered. I'm pretty thorough. Like I teach in my videos is how we all teach. Alexis and Angela, we all of the same mind.
Yes, I know Angela very well. I trust her teaching methods.
We
She
actually
learned everything she knows from me. No.
Actually, we have a couple of students on here if they want to say how they felt after the class or what they got how they felt about notarizing after they finished the class. If it's not, you don't have to, but Diane.
I don't know if she's even, oh there
She raised her hand.
Diane and Ingrid has been in class too, right?
Diane.
Oh, go ahead, Diane.
Well, I was actually going to give my testimony. I was kind of waiting. Yes, if you all haven't taken Angela's or Kimmi's or Alexis class, I highly encourage you all to do so. Watch all of Kimmi's YouTube videos. I think I'm all caught up. But these ladies teach it very simple, easy to understand, classroom setting, which is the way I like to learn, and they repeat it. They're accessible. They respond in good time. And for those that are, for the three of them that work this full time, I try not to bother them as much as with my questions, but I do hear back from them before the end of the night or before the end of the day. So, but their classes are phenomenal. I was in the school of watching YouTube, and I tell you what, it was so confusing. And because they are for Georgia, for me, because they were in Georgia, I felt like I could ask them the questions and get a most accurate answer, along with the Georgia primer and our little book, what's that called? The handbook. Yeah. So with these things, they do refer back to that a great deal, but they do know what they're talking about. So I highly encourage you all to take their classes.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you, Diane.
It's been our pleasure working with you too. Miss Clavida. Clavida. I know I'm messing it up.
It's Clavdia.
Clavdia.
Yeah. So I wanted to know, are we allowed to notarize out-of-state documents?
That's a very good question, because we get that all the time. So we have to, y'all know we're going to go over. So if you got to leave, you can't, because we're actually done. Now I'm just answering your questions. We're actually complete, but we don't mind answering a couple more questions. So yeah, so you have to think about it. Every document you get is not going to be from the state of Georgia. We're 50 states. 50 states. We even have stuff for out of the country. We have a lot of copy certifications. So I want you to look at your handbooks on that, because you get a lot of requests for that for Jamaica, a lot of that. And So we do documents for all 50 states. That's why what we train you is not to be a Georgia notary. Our training is not even Georgia specific. Our training is to be a notary. And once you're a good notary, you can do anything. Like I said earlier, somebody bring you a piece of tissue, you should be able to notarize that. You need to know how to do it, because everything is not going to have the exact perfect wording on it. You need to know what you have to do. So if you can do, if you're a good notary, and I say it all the time, you can do anything. So all your documents won't be from Georgia. They might be from Florida, California. Most of my signing stuff that's related to loan signings come from the state of Florida. A lot of people have dual property. You would be surprised at how many people have more than one property. So a lot of my documents come from Florida. Yes, Angela.
And also power of attorneys, I've gotten them from Kentucky, Tennessee, Florida. So your documents come from all over.
They can come from anywhere, but the only thing you're ever going to worry about is what you have to do as the notary. That's what you need to know how to do. Let's see.
Thank you.
Susan. Oh, thank you. Miss Susan was saying she enjoyed reading the book. Oh yeah, you can talk.
Oh, am I muted? No, I'm not. I really enjoyed your book. I did. I read it in 2 evenings. Well, because the other stuff that I do during the day, but I read it in 2 evenings and I enjoyed it. I really did. And I learned a lot too. I learned a lot. So I just wanted to tell you that.
I appreciate the feedback too. She caught a couple errors for me. We went there and fixed it. So,
but so much. That happens when you're writing books. So I really enjoyed it. Thank you. Thank you, Kim.
I appreciate it. Anything else, ladies? Because I don't want to, and gentlemen, I don't want to keep you any longer than I have to, but we want to make sure everyone's question is answered.
Let me jump in there really quickly.
Oh, I think Kelly wanted to say something.
Oh, go ahead. It was me. I was talking, but Kelly can go ahead.
Oh,
okay, I just have one more question. Like, I know in the handbook it says that you shouldn't notarize documents of like your immediate family, or if you have some monetary or some kind of something to gain from it.
That's correct.
But like my sons, they don't live with me anymore. They're grown. So if don't do it at all, even if I don't benefit from it.
I would not. I would not. Nothing with family.
Because if anything comes up, then you don't want it to be, well, you were the mom and you have a close relationship with them, and this could happen or that could happen and cause, harm to them, either financially or otherwise.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you never want to do anything for family. Alexis?
Oh, before everyone got off, I just wanted to introduce the loan signing piece of the courses that we'll be doing.
Yes, I'm sorry, I forgot. Yeah, you
can. Oh no. So I will be teaching the loan signing course for you all. So it's a great next step after you do the general notary, or if you're ready, if you've been looking into it, I say go ahead and just go for it. My goal at the end, when you are done with the course, is for you all not to be so confused. When taking the NNA course, we can read and apply. Reading it and doing it with the NNA is different than actually being in the field and actually applying it. Mm-hmm. So my course is that bridge between you taking the NNA course and actually going into the field and doing packages and doing loan signing work. Yeah. So I would highly, highly recommend, if you all are ready, or even if you need to focus on general notary first, please do so. But keep in the back of your mind, we do offer a loan signing course. It's packed with so much information, and I promise you, when you walk away, you'll be so relaxed and confident in the fact that you can go start accepting signings.
Yeah, we actually teach that together, myself and Alexis, and that would be your next step after you got your general notary, you feel comfortable with that. Then you go to NNA, get your certification, and then you're ready for our class. We don't even let you take the class unless you've done the NNA. So we have certain requirements. We don't just take anybody.
That's why I said it's a bridge. Get the NNA. We're taking the NNA information and we're trying to help you really learn how to apply it and get that real world knowledge and different tips and tricks to actually go out there and be successful.
Yeah.
So that is the requirement.
Yeah, we don't just let you take class. So again, you have all of our email information there. If you want to know where you need to be in which class, that class is also 3 hours long. So by the time you finish, though, you have everything you need. We're not looking for career students. And you don't want to be a career student. You want to be a businesswoman or a businessman. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be in class for the rest of your life. That's not even necessary. Claudia, how did you have another question?
Will there be another opportunity for the training course if we can't make this one?
Oh yeah, they'll be ongoing. We just haven't put the November dates out yet. I think we're looking at the 6th and the 13th for November. And then after that, everybody will probably be on holiday break. So we'll pick it up probably at the first of the year or December or something. But yeah, and
Okay.
also Angela does offer one-on-one with those classes, and Alexis does too with long signing. So we do group, which will get you a cheaper rate, and then we also offer one-on-one. So
Okay.
Because there are some people that don't want to be in a group, so they
yeah, some
want
people don't want a group setting, period. They only want one-on-one. So we offer both. And also Alexis does Google My Business. If you need help with
Yes.
that, yeah, if you need help with
If
the
you need
Google
help
My-
maximizing.
yeah, she'll help you set that up. And Miss Georgia, did you have something else?
Well, am I okay? Yeah, yes. My question was because I'm really wanting to get into this, but I don't want to get in there and do stupid stuff first. So I'm trying to get myself educated and do all the steps, but where I really want to go is to make money. That's what I really want to do.
Well, when you take the Notary Essentials class, which teaches you how to be a good notary, once you take that class, you will not need to take another class about how to notarize documents, what the documents mean,
Okay.
what it's all about. We teach you everything you need to know in that class about being a good notary, the do's and don'ts, mistakes that we make. We take you through training. We just had a class. Our last class was last week, and we had 5 different states in that class. And when we finished that class, everybody from every state was very comfortable knowing how to just notarize documents no matter where they came from. So that's our goal, as Kim mentioned earlier,
Okay.
to make sure that you are a
Okay.
good notary and that you feel confident notarizing a document no matter what it is. And so by the time you get to Alexis loan signing, you know how to notarize. So she's just going to teach you how to be a good loan signing agent. You'll know how to notarize the documents. And you can't be a good loan signing agent if you don't know how to notarize documents.
You can
Exactly.
Right. That was my question. I'm not against being a general notarer. That's fine and dandy. But I just really want to be able to maximize my time because I'm old,
Well, you know
If you
what,
look in the
Miss
chat
Georgia?
rooms,
Oh, go ahead, Angela. I was just gonna tell Miss Georgia, don't go ahead.
if you look in, oh, go ahead, Tim. I was saying, if you look in all the, we like Kim mentioned, we look through we remember the Facebook groups, George, and all different Facebook groups, and we noticed that in all the Facebook groups, people were doing loan signings and general notary, but a lot of loan signing people were asking basic notary information. How do you notarize this? What do you put here in this block? What do you put here? So they don't know how to be a notary or how to notarize documents, so they can't do the loan signing.
And just to kind of piggyback off of that, just like what Kimmi was saying earlier, you want to be a preferred go-to notary that helps facilitate the signing of these loan documents. Therefore, you need to know exactly how to notarize. It's as simple as that. That notarization is just as important as you handling the actual loan documents.
And Miss Georgia,
You just never know what you're going to get, and you want to be prepared for everything.
you do. And Miss Georgia, you do not want to sleep on general notary work.
Yes,
Don't
that's
sleep
true.
on that general notary.
You do not. Did she follow? Oh, there she is. Miss Georgia, you do not want to sleep on general notary work. I did it.
I'm sorry, you guys. I just didn't feel good today. My sinuses was hurting today. I don't feel good.
Oh,
and,
no.
Oh, no, you're fine.
and-
I just wanted to make a point though, because a lot of people say, I want to do loan signings. That's all I want to do. I'm just saying, don't sleep on general notary work because there's money to be made. I did a divorce signing on Sunday. I was there 10 minutes, $75. So that's the quickest money you ever make.
That's the quickest money. You in and
Yeah.
out, in and out.
Yeah.
And I did I did a will signing and a power of attorney, and made like $160.
Yeah, so don't sleep on general notary. We have a couple of other things in the chat here. Is the class geared toward Georgia notaries only? Actually, no, the class is not. As Angela stated last week, we had 5 different states represented. And again, we want to get out of the mindset of I'm a Georgia notary. We want to think I'm a notary because you're going to get documents from everywhere. So you don't want to think I'm a Georgia notary. I am not even just a Georgia notary. My YouTube channel is not geared toward Georgia. I have several out there for Georgia, but I'm a great notary and I handle stuff from all 50 states. Miss
Hello, can I say
Claudia,
something?
Claudia, did you have a question?
Miss
Sorry, is my hand still up?
Yeah.
I apologize. I did just put a question in the chat. I wanted to know if the training course covers government contracts, or is there a separate course for that?
Okay, so government contract, just since it was mentioned, is something where you try to get these, as a notary, they'll just use you as a part of the government. You get these special things. I would just highly recommend you do a little more research on that. Okay, Angela.
So I'm a veteran and I've done research on government contracts, and there's really no guarantee. The couple that I looked at, even in the past couple of months, I've looked at it before, but I revisited again recently. And really, they want you to pay a fee, $300 or $400 just to put in an application. And it's a whole process that you have to go through. So if that's something that you want to do, I mean, like she mentioned, research it. But after researching it myself and being a veteran, I decided it's not something I wanted to do because it was too paper intensive and it was no guarantee basically.
And I mean, really do your homework on that before you start putting out money. Miss Athena?
Thank you.
I know I've been quiet. I just came from my daughter's soccer practice. Sorry about that at the beginning. But I'm also a veteran also. So, and I dealt with government contracts when I was active duty. But more recently, I set up my sister. She has a healthcare temporary staffing agency, and I recently set hers up. And you don't have to pay anybody $300, $400. All of it is free to sign up, sam.gov. It's just a long, tedious, you have to go and read regulations, CFRs, just so you know exactly what you're saying and what you're checking yes and no to. But it's very detailed, and it's not in layman's term. Most definitely, you got to do your research.
Thank you.
But it's doable. You can do it.
Yeah, just be cautious because there's a lot of people out there selling different things with this government contract. So just be cautious. Miss Z7581, did you want to say something?
Yes. This Naomi, I don't know why
Naomi?
Hey, I don't know why my name won't come up, but what bothers
Naomi.
what bothers me is when I go out to notarize something, you know, I want to know before I go, and I know I can't. So when I see the form, especially those affidavits, I don't know how to fill them out sometimes because it's a lot of different types.
It is.
Of affidavits, and I'm trying to figure out, should I write here, right there? And I guess that's just something.
So I don't think you've taken the training. I know you did the Google My Business with Alexis, right? You did the Google My Business training.
Right.
Or course or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna highly recommend you think about that. I'm gonna tell you right now what to do, but I highly recommend you get into a class so you don't know. So anybody, whenever you go to a signing, if before you loan signing or general notary work, don't just get there and start stamping documents. You want to take your papers, your documents. If you're a general notary or loan signing, I say become one with that document. I'm like, excuse me 1 second, Mr. Smith, while I look this over. I'm reading it. I'm making sure, where am I supposed to sign? Where am I supposed to? Don't just get there because they're going to be rushing you. Normally, by the time they call you, they've already had the document for 3 weeks, right? now you get there, it's 911. I got to get it done right now. No. Excuse me, mister. I'm going to look at it. So you take your time, you touch that paper, you point to where you need, you become one with that paper. Even on loan signings, I don't take a signing an hour before. I need time to look at that package. So when I say all that, as you take your time, Ms. Naomi, you'll be able to eventually get it. And even now we have stuff we had to redo today. They came yesterday. This girl was getting a some kind of college thing, and she had to get it signed, a proctor. So it was her and the proctor came to me, and they put the names in the wrong spot, so we had to redo it. So she had to come today. So it's gonna happen because sometimes documents are just not clear. And when I just redo it.
I don't really need to worry about their part. I just need to focus on what I have to do at the bottom or whatever.
Well, you kind of want to look at it just a little bit, because if you see that it's filled out incorrectly and you notarize it, that means you're going to have to come back.
Yeah.
So you want to kind of just look at it. You don't have to know exactly what's in the document. You know, that's not your responsibility. But I kind of glance over, like, if you were supposed to sign here and then he signed there, then that's going to be a problem.
Right.
So you want to just kind of help the client. That's just customer service too.
Right.
Because you don't want to re-stamp and, you know, at your expense, and they don't want to come back. So you know, it's not your responsibility. You just want to kind of look at it.
Okay.
Miss Maddie, did you have something else?
So I just wanted to touch on that piece because today was my first time. So going back to what you said, when I got there, I literally took a solid 3 minutes looking at those 3 sheets, and all 3 were different affidavits, or I'm sorry, all 3 were different types of acknowledgements. But I signed them, put them to the side, and then at the end, I went over them one more time. And then I found that my signer had missed one of his signings because he had some of them signed already before I got there. But then there was this one part that was blank. And I know that we're not supposed to leave anything blank. So I was like, what? And then I figured out that he missed the signature. So like taking that time, yes, take the time. You're so right with that, because today could have gone wrong had I not taken the time to see that he missed the signing. And then one section for me was weird, but I figured it out. It was my signature, but they didn't label it that way. So you're right with that, 1000%.
So guess what? Next time he has a document, who's gonna be his go-to notary, even though you made all the
me.
You know it, girl. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up, ladies. Alexis, did you have anything you or Angela like to conclude?
I would just like to say, get your handbook and study it from front to back. Read over it twice, because I'm going through now and I'm like, I missed a couple things. Let me highlight that, or maybe something just stuck out to me. So just read it a few times if possible. Yeah, you'll be successful after reading it. And do your research, YouTube, Google. Yeah, that's about it.
Thank you guys for coming. I hope you enjoyed this Zoom meeting. As far as our goal was to help you by answering some questions that you may have out in the field, or questions about if you're a new notary and just, you know, how to make yourself better notary. So I hope that's what you got out of that. That was our purpose was. So we really appreciate you coming, because you didn't have to come. You could have been doing something else. And we, all 3 of us, really enjoyed being a notary. So it's our pleasure to help you also become good notaries.
Yes. Maddie, let me make sure I'm not missing something before we go.
Nope, I think we're good.
Okay, your hand was still up. So on behalf
sorry.
Oh, that's okay. So on behalf of Notary Educators and myself, Kimmi from Notary Life with Kimmi YouTube, I want to thank you guys for coming. It's been our pleasure. And we wish you guys much success as notaries out there.
Thanks,
Take care.
Thank
Have
you
a good
very
evening.
much.
Thank you.
It was helpful.